Love requires bravery. Of all the places, of all the things we have to learn in our life, the area of love, without doubt, requires the most bravery. Whilst most of us understand ourselves to simply be a vessel, a physical vessel for the spirit of ourselves, which is love, we also are influenced by the way in which we learn about love. And it can be very easy to judge another person's way of loving. But not all of us have teachers in our life that are good teachers about the area of love. If we arrive in this world as a beautiful, magnificent, divine spirit that completely understands why we know we're here, and if by the age of 7, through our first examples of love being our parents, then we learn a lot of signals and a lot of language about love in those first 7 years. And whether we believe that language to be wrong or right, good or bad, the truth is that language has become imprinted on the imprint of you. And the way in which you will love in your life is very often the same love you recorded in those first 7 years. Of course, as we mature through our young childhood, through our young adulthood, and then into adulthood, we discover that there are many lessons about love along the way. During my time, I would have to say the most challenging areas of my life have been in the areas of love. First, the love and the relationship I shared with my father, who was a very brilliant and brave man in his own right, but also often a troubled man after surviving the Second World War. He was explosive by temper, passionate by nature, and often driven very hard in his life. I don't think, when I look back now, that my father did an easy life in any circumstances. My mother was really what we called the healer. She was the one who was always keeping the calm in the family, trying to calm the stormy waters for her 5 children. And so the dynamics of love, the way that we learn love, they are influenced by those things we are watching as a young person. And it can take us many years to unlearn some habits, some things we have mimicked and copied and have repeated in our own life. But love often comes as a mirror to the way in which we currently believe in ourselves or not. For me, during my childhood, which was a very stormy childhood, I became very uncertain in my life very early. I was very shy by nature. I was very nervous of the world around me. I was very connected to the world around me, but my silence and my shyness made me withdraw very early in my life. And it was in this area of withdrawal that I learned to become the listener, that I began to listen not just through this space, but through this space. I learned to become a keen observer of life. But still, with all of those beautiful abilities, it took me many years to realize how to use those abilities to be more beneficial to myself. And the reason was, one of the things I learned very early was that I saw the goodness in people. As a young person, I fell in love with the potential I saw in people. And it was to take me many years and many roads, and sometimes some very dangerous experiences in love, to realize that I had to learn to navigate differently in my love life. It was at the age of about 35 that I decided I had to change something very drastically and very quickly in my life in order to look after my children, to give them a safer passage through life, and to bring myself into safety. I had to make some drastic decisions, one of which carried me across my beautiful country to the other side. I basically had to pack the few things that I owned, and I fled for my life at that time with my 2 children. And that was really the beginning of a new kind of pathway for me. And the pathway for me began with reading books, listening to little tapes at that time. I'm not afraid to tell you that the first author I ever read was Marianne Williamson's A Return to Love. And the author that came to me after that was the beautiful Louise Hay of Hay House and How to Heal Your Life. They were 2 of the first books and the first things, meditation tapes as well, that I listened to at that time in my life. Because I knew deep within the heart of me that there was a very good soul living within me. I knew I had a lot of love to give. I'd always known that about myself. But I seemed to be depositing that love into relationships that weren't very healthy for me. And so it took me quite a bit of time in my life to learn about this passage of love and learn different ways of navigating through love. The first person I needed to begin with was, of course, myself. I had very little self-worth and very low self-esteem. I had this feeling that I kind of felt almost a bit desperate about love, anxious about love. And even though I might see people around me that I thought would be beautiful people, I got to a place where I didn't really trust myself with love because I had had some very bad, negative, dangerous experiences with love. And so began my journey of personal learning. And for a while in my life, I decided, you know what? This area of my life is just far too problematic, and I need to bury myself into some books and build a relationship of love with books. And that's exactly what I did. And those books led me on a pathway that is now my pathway today. The one thing I've learned most about in my life is how to love and how difficult the area of love can be for most people. Today we live in a time of technology where apparently if you swipe right and keep swiping right, you might just be lucky enough to find that soul that your soul's trying to connect with. But as I look out to the young people around me, I feel a great anxiety and a great sadness around the loneliness that I see. As a facilitator for meditation, for readings, for energy work, I see a lot of damaged people around me, people that are losing their confidence, losing their way, feeling like their time in their life will never come. And these people are young people. They are also other people, of course, senior ones like myself, who are still out there looking for love. And of course, the longer you feel without love, the more problematic that can become. So from here forward, I'm going to share some of the things with you that I've learned along the way that can help change your perspective of love, but also help you come into a more aligned and loving place with yourself. And I know you've heard that thousands of times, that in order to attract love, you must first come from a place of love. And even though we think we do come from a place of love, often we have layers of ourselves that are still damaged, that are still hurt, that still live in doubt and anxiety, and areas of ourselves where we do not trust that inner calling and that inner process. In this place, the road I am now traveling on is the road I feel guided to take. Having a very close relationship with the spirit world and the beautiful guidance of my angels and the guidance that comes to me from the other side, I feel very called along this pathway of love. And it is on this pathway of love, as I said, that I want to share my greatest learning with you. One of the things I want to say first is that we are these beautiful, sacred beings. And there are so many complex layers to the sacred beingness of ourselves. Nothing is black and white. Nothing is set in stone. Nobody can tell you who to love or how to love. But we can definitely follow that inner, divine inner wisdom and learn how to travel with that divine inner wisdom in order to build the energy of love first with yourself and for yourself. And when you can come from that beautiful understanding that you are worth loving, that you are worth knowing, that you have something very beautiful to share with others around you, then an inner light turns on. And that light begins to shine from your innermost self. We've all met people that we feel automatically drawn to, that almost have a magnet that draws us towards them. And it is that magnet that is often hard to describe. It could be the light in their eyes, the way they smile, the tone of the voice, the touch of their hand, the way they see you and hear you when you are in their presence. Some people have a way of seeing us immediately, as if they're looking in to the soul of who we really are. During this journey, I would like to welcome you into a different way of approaching your own love life, because surely what we want to do is meet with the soul that is right with the soul of you. Connecting again in real time, in the real world, in a very real way, I believe has become a paramount necessity. If you spend your life only looking at your phone or searching for love through those millions of apps that are available, I'd like you to just consider for one moment how many hours you may have spent with your eyes looking downwards towards a tiny little screen. And really, the only way you can tell what the vibration of a person is to hear the sound of their voice, to sit within their company, to be within their physical sphere, so that your energy can connect with their energy. And only when you can connect in that way, in a personal way, can you really get a sense, a divine heart message about that person you are sitting with. If you have been spending the last few years of your life swiping right, feeling empty, feeling alone, feeling like love is never going to come your way, feeling that somehow you've been forgotten or left out, if you feel ready for a change, I hope you will join me here with both this YouTube channel and also the small little posts that I put on Instagram on my page, Matters of Love. I hope you will take some time today to think about the areas of you, the beautiful layers of your divine spirit that are truly ready to meet with the divine spirit that is seeking you. There's a beautiful line, isn't there? That which we seek is also seeking us. And I'd like you to take time now to really think about what you are prepared to invest into love, how you love, the way you love. Do you send terrible language through your text messages? Are you full of fear and anxiety about love? Are you depressed or anxious or just feeling very alone in the world? The truth is, love lives everywhere, and it lives on so many levels of our life. And the first thing we need to fall in love with is the love of the true nature of ourselves and our connection, our divine connection to the source that is lovingly guiding me and lovingly guiding you. So this is Wendy. We will definitely talk about love a lot more on this journey, and I look forward to your company then. Please like, subscribe and share this video along as we gather the souls together in a place of love. Love and blessings to you. Bye for now.